Welcome back, Love Stylers. I'm Misty. Today we're talking about winning the Hunger Games that we go through when we're dieting. And Katniss won the Hunger Games through toughness, versatility, and logic. And the grand prize you will win is the wealth of health and comfort and ease for the rest of your days. So we're all going to win because we know how to eat now. All the information is out there. I eat on a 90% carnivore diet. I started on keto 6 years ago, moved over to carnivore halfway through fasting, intermittent fasting, and all these other tips I'm going to give you today. And I love my life now. I cured most of my eczema. I got off high blood pressure medicine. I lost 55 pounds and I stayed away from alcohol, which was a big problem in my life. So I've filled the times I would be drinking alcohol now with living a healthy lifestyle. If you stick with me, guys, I can help you and inspire you to slay the hunger dragon. And we can do this together. It's very, very easy once you figure out how to do this. So eating mostly meat, dairy, and eggs to supplement makes dieting so much easier. If you're anything like me, you overthink everything. So if you resonate with the fact that I think I overthink everything and I want to do everything so perfectly, keep listening because that is me. That is me to a T. Especially women, I want to say that we're perfectionists to our own detriment. And when we're dieting, we want to get it so perfect. And a lot of people gravitate towards low calorie vegetables for dieting and a lot of big salads. So that's what I did wrong when I started keto. Even though I eliminated most of the junk foods in my life, I was eating so many vegetables and so much salad with the crappy salad dressing that was stalling me like crazy and concentrating on low calories. I never felt full. I always felt hungry. I would feel hungry right after I ate the salad about an hour later. So this is the biggest problem I see with dieting. When you eat a meat-based lifestyle or putting protein first, you feel full for hours and hours and hours. And this is my favorite part about eating on a carnivore or meat-based lifestyle. So keto is fun. And the hybrid of keto and carnivore, like I practice, keeping about 10% vegetables, coffee, plant foods in there, makes my life a little bit more interesting. Because I'll tell you what, if I tell myself I can't eat chicken soup when it's freezing out because there are carrots and onions in the recipe, I don't think that that's very freeing. You should be able to eat what you want in this life, still lead a healthy lifestyle without feeling hungry. Guys, I'm going to be showing pictures in this video of some foods that I eat, some of my dinners, and you might find it very useful because they're so satiating and they make me feel full and not hungry. The first thing I want to mention is bacon. Bacon on this diet is a savior. It's probably the best food out of all of the foods that I eat. And most carnivores, we figured this out because it has the perfect ratio of fat to protein. It has the electrolytes in there, the salt content that helps keep you feeling full. And believe it or not, salt has a role in this. When your salt is off, you don't feel as full. So that's a really good tip to beat hunger also, is making sure you have enough pink salt in your diet. But bacon is so damn decadent, and satiating that I feel you should start including it in your diet. If you're afraid of bacon, do not be. Now, they can put some sugar in bacon, and you have to read your labels and start to educate yourself with labels, guys. This is huge. And then you're going to know how to do this. I know how to do this now. I know how to eat for my body now, and hybridizing just perfectly between having a few vegetables occasionally and mostly eating meat most of the time with some dairy and eggs makes my life so wonderful. I've never been happier. So bacon is the most delicious food on the planet. Tell me if you think bacon is the most delicious food on the planet. Just type bacon if you agree with me in the comments. If I could think of any other food that comes close to the satiety I get and the satisfaction I get when I eat bacon, the closest I can come to is, well, just recently found out about pork belly. It's damn near close. But the second would be probably steak. And I almost feel like if I asked 100 people this, we would get unanimously bacon and steak as the most satiating, hunger-fighting, and delicious, nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So when you eat on a carnivore diet or a mostly carnivore diet or even a protein-heavy keto diet or ketovore, as it's been called, you're eating a lot of these foods most of the time because you have found out how good they are for your body and how well they keep away the hunger. So high fat is one of the big secrets why a carnivore diet is so satiating, which therefore lends to being able to go long periods of time without eating. So fasting in general, intermittent fasting is eating in a short window area of time and going long periods of time without food. Beef, particularly pork, and lamb is the other one. The three most satiating foods that are so nutrient dense. You can go so long without eating food, it's going to surprise you if you've never tried this before. So what brings somebody to a carnivore diet? Well, keto brought me to carnivore, but before that, I was unhealthy. About 6 years ago, I started to look at very carefully my health. I never really wanted to look at it very much before that. But I had the health insurance finally after the recession times were over. And I said, you know what? I have to start looking at my health. So at the time, I was fairly overweight. And I'm still overweight, guys. I am not at my goal weight yet. And I had high blood pressure for years and years. And I was on medication at different times in my life. I did not want to stay on medication for high blood pressure. I had severe eczema. I still have a little bit because I'm not fully cured. Eating meat helps a lot. But I got rid of most of my eczema and I couldn't keep up walking up steps. I would get very out of breath. I wasn't living a very active lifestyle. I was not that happy. My art was suffering. I'm a keyboard player, and I felt just uninspired in life. I was still eating crappy foods. I was drinking ginger ale, eating Sour Patch Kids, pretzel rods, Doritos, sweets, and some other crappy foods, and I wasn't really paying attention to my health at all. I wanted to join the softball team at work, which I did do, but it was a lot harder for me to run those bases with my tubby ass. So I realized how out of shape I was, and I decided I have to do my own research and find out how is the best way to first get rid of the meds for blood pressure. Having high blood pressure for me was the biggest reason I started to look at my health. That was the first reason, and being fat. Those two reasons went hand in hand. The rest of it I didn't realize until I tried to keep up with other people on the softball team and playing sports, how out of shape I had become. This is when I ran across Dr. Berg's video about apple cider vinegar and the different body types. These were the first two videos I watched of his, and I learned about keto accidentally. So there's a little bit of information in those two videos. Check out Dr. Berg if you have not, B-E-R-G. He is the keto expert. and he got me pumped. I wanted to go on keto after watching those videos and finding out that you could fix your own body just through nutrition. And I had never really realized it until I started watching those videos and educating myself. One good thing today, we have all of the information at our fingertips. There's no excuse anymore. Things like, oh, we didn't know about that, made sense in the 80s, and we had to eat the margarine and the bread and butter at the table, even though it was margarine and not butter, and eat all the crappy carbs, and we thought low fat meant something, and our parents didn't know any better. So it's a little bit different when you're old enough and living in these modern times, and you have all this information at our fingertips. Here I'm going to put some images of some of the things we eat here at Love Style to keep on track. And it is a hybrid version of the keto and carnivore diets. So most of the time I eat just meat, dairy, and eggs, but occasionally I do include a vegetable. So our favorite is grilled Italian sausage on the grill with onions, peppers, and cherry tomatoes. You throw them right on the grill. And it's so easy. You don't really have to prep for this at all. We also will eat it with some fresh mozzarella cheese, the good stuff usually. Don't forget the basil, but this is an example of a hybrid keto and carnivore meal, for example. Another favorite staple in our household is burger patties. And if you've been doing carnivore seriously for a while, burger patties are your friend, especially if you get the big package of them at Costco and you don't have to thaw things out. And if you forgot to thaw something out for dinner that night, you can always have burger patties. I've even done chaffle buns with this, and it's even better that way for me. So we just leave out the bun normally, and I do indulge sometimes in some chosen food mayo with this, and occasionally a sweet potato fry that I've made in the air fryer for those times where I want just a little bit of something extra. So I am not perfect, guys. This is a good example of something I have probably once every 2 weeks is the fries. But the burger patties, once or twice a week for sure. Also, pork ribs have been my go-to for a while. They are so easy to make in the oven. If you need me to tell you how to make them, it is the simplest recipe ever. You just put them in the oven. Basically cook for 2 hours. But ask me specifics because there's one little thing you have to do in between. I just eat a ton of pork ribs. I usually don't have anything on the side. They are so satiating. Pork ribs lately are my go-to. They keep me full for so long, I can't even understand it. So sometimes we'll even eat at like 4 o'clock for dinner, and I am good for the night once I eat my pork ribs. So very easy, not labor intensive, and very, very satiating so you are not hungry. This is one of the ways that I win when I fight in the Hunger Games, because I hate being hungry. And if you hate being hungry and you're worried about being hungry, I want you to try some of this stuff if you've never considered it before. Now, you might be curious about chicken. So with chicken wings are wonderful. Hot wings are great. And chicken breast is a little less satisfying and will not keep you full for a long time. Now, does that mean I don't eat chicken breast? No, I will still eat chicken breast. It is not my go-to. It is just once in a while to keep things interesting. I will make like pork rinds for a coating and fry them. You can make a breading that is very, very on plan and skip the flour and still enjoy like a crunchy Chick-fil-A type of chicken. But normally chicken thighs are what we eat because they have a lot more fat and are better for you. And of course, remember your ground beef. To make meatballs with, you use pork rinds in the recipe instead of the breadcrumbs. You grind up the pork rinds and you will never go back. I promise you. Now, I didn't mention butter. Butter is also a very good tip to add butter to your meat, especially if you just like chicken breast, for example. If there's not a lot of fat in the meat you're eating, like chicken, you can add butter always just with your meat. It's very, very good. I love eating on a carnivore diet. It has a luxuriousness to it. The food you're eating is very lush. It's very satiating. It feels almost fancy because you're eating the good stuff. Think back to when you were a kid. I don't remember feeding the dog under the table my meat. I wanted to eat the meat. The dog gets the vegetables. And the kids hide the vegetables on the plate for a reason. They are not that tasty when compared to most meats for most people. Now, you are you, and you can personalize this and make a hybrid version of what you like. If you like a sweet potato occasionally, like Andrew and I do, have a sweet potato occasionally and stay on track that way. It kind of gives you like a little bit of a break because not all vegetables are the devil. There are some vegetables that I enjoy occasionally. And like a salad, once in a while, like at a fancy restaurant with homemade dressing, that's when I'll have a salad. That's the only time I kind of want it these days. And I've made salads in the past and I've enjoyed them at home, but the closer I get to better health, the more I understand that it's not as nutrient dense as meat. It just is not. And I want to optimize my body the best I can. I want to get rid of the cellulite that's still hanging on and taking its time. I want to be able to hike 3 miles without being out of breath. I want to give my body some collagen. Not a lot of people talk about collagen. I mean real collagen, not collagen powder. And it's kind of mixed in with the protein and it has amino acids. We need a little extra collagen, us ladies especially. A whole food approach is always a smart idea. When it comes time to make decisions, when we are not in an environment where we can just eat meat all the time, just remember having a little fruit, having some vegetables, and hybridizing this to beat your own hunger for your best result is always smarter. When we start eating the packaged foods, that's when we get the dopamine hits, the sugar cravings, we become more hungry. So if you're eating a lot of things in a package right now and you're feeling hungry while you're dieting, even if you're not restricting calories that much, it could be due to those packaged foods or the diet sodas or all the ingredients that cause hunger later after you eat them. Without protein, this planet and no living life would exist. And that includes plants, animals, and other things that grow. We all are made from protein. And adding that collagen in with the protein, which has amino acids, helps us thrive as a human. I want to add that Paul Saladino, the guy who wrote the Carnivore Code, one of the first books about carnivore eating, he even adds fruit into his diet these days, which is a surprise to some people. Take a look at Paul Saladino. And I even think he includes vegetables. I'm not sure about that. I will say his last name has salad in it. He is personalizing a carnivore diet and putting nutrition in the meat first and then having a few things here and there to stay on track and live a balanced lifestyle. Whole foods are always a better choice if you're stuck in a position where you can't eat just meat. A piece of fruit is always better than a bag of chips. Stick around for my truth bomb in about 30 seconds. Be sure to share this with a friend who it may help and hit like and subscribe so you can stay on track this year. Also, please comment if you have any questions about the carnivore diet, about the keto diet, about what it's like to be a musician at 51, or any other question. I'm very open. Hit me up in the comments. We also want to thank you for listening to Black Eyed Soul. That's our band. Andrew and I record right here in this room. You can find us on any streaming platform or go to blackeyedsoul.com. And my truth bomb today is the truth is out there, guys, and we have no more excuses to not find out how our body works best for optimal health these days in 2023. We can teach ourselves how to fight hunger, how to get the nutrients we need first, how to implement protein in the building blocks of life itself for any creature or any living thing. And we can go from there. Not being hungry is just one of the benefits of eating on a mostly meat diet for myself. Learning how to fast is helpful, and learning how your body responds to foods is also just smart. Please hit me up in the comments if you have any questions about anything you want to talk about. Thank you for tuning into Love Style today. Peace out.